Here are all the different camo challenges for every weapon category. In case you wanted to know, I meant to make this a while ago, but it got delayed by a few things, like the big update. Maybe this is not as interesting now, but nevertheless, surprisingly hard to find this information written down anywhere, despite, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands of people having maxed out weapons. So I maxed out some stuff in every category myself. Seems like each weapon category has its own unique challenge set, with the exception being marksman and sniper rifles. They were the exact same. With that knowledge, I wanted to talk about them. I scraped the surface back in that Damascus time estimation video, like about fearing those riot shield double kills, but now I have all the challenges in front of me, some other scary ones for sure, but it all seems way less intimidating now that I'm actually enjoying the game more with Shoot House. Wanted to go through to clarify and discuss everything. This isn't going to be a guide for the best way to complete all these challenges. After I spend some more time gathering some clips, I can make a couple camo tip videos for sure. For now, consider this a review of the camo system and what you should be watching out for. Starting with a couple clarifications for bugs and typos. At any point these could be fixed, bear that in mind. The launchers have some issues. The topography camo needs you to destroy stuff of any kind, but it doesn't mention that you actually have to have the spotter perk on for that. The challenge makes more sense as soon as you know that. Similar thing with the stripes camo, destroy 50 kill streaks. Seems very redundant looking at the other challenges, but that's because you actually need to have the cold-blooded perk on for this one to count. Then the reptile camo is one they actually corrected in the update. It used to say 50 kills with the warhead perk, which was the old name for amped. Next up, melee is all sorts of whack. It seems like dead silence kills track so long as you have dead silence equipped. You don't actually have to have it active at the time of the kill, although I'd recommend using dead silence for melee anyway. 25 finishers sounds like it would be tough, but finishers seem to be given to you over time at random without you actually doing finishers. It's very strange. I don't know what gives them to you, but it's game-wide, like this challenge mission or the character you get for doing 25 finishers. I have him, like I'm sure many people do, but I know I've only ever done about 5 finishers. A lot of challenge tracking is mixed up all over the place, it feels like. One time I got credit for a melee kill challenge when I got an LMG headshot. There are several challenges in this game that phantom track and give you progress for no apparent reason. The final camo I'm going to mention is also one of those. The skulls camos for everything but launchers require going on 3 kill streaks, and those are universally bugged across all weapons to require 0 effort to complete. They're supposed to require quite a few 3 kill streaks, but really, as soon as you max out your weapon to unlock the base camo, not only does it not have anything to do with going on kill streaks, you don't even need to use that weapon anymore, and the skulls camos will all unlock themselves. Typically, I swap to a completely different class to rank up a new gun, and in one game of Ground War, I get about half of the skulls camos unlocked. Another game, and it's all done, when I didn't even touch the weapon. 3 kill streaks wouldn't be that bad with most of the guns in the game, but right now, you can just skip them entirely. Very weird, but very helpful for now. Okay, there could be other bugs I left out, but moving on to going over some challenges that are gonna be tough, the ones that stand out to me. Right off the bat, I'll clarify my challenge philosophy, I guess you could say. I've seen some confusion. When I pick out a challenge, like Riot Shield double kills, that I say I disagree with, that I think isn't a good challenge, there's a big difference between that and just complaining that something is too hard. My problem isn't with difficulty or the time required, it's about what I think makes a fun challenge. I don't want the grind to be easy. A mastery camo should be tough. A long-term grind for the most dedicated of players to shoot for. It shouldn't be a given. Not everyone is entitled to it. That's just the way it has to be to give it value and make it a fun accomplishment. So I believe a mastery challenge like this should reflect your dedication, your skill, but not require you to be a pro, and sheer amount of time invested. It should not be about extreme luck, waiting for something out of your control to happen, and it should not be disrupting your gameplay to an extreme. It should obviously be disrupting your gameplay a little, because it's all about forcing you to spend a buttload of time with every weapon in the game and proving that you've mastered them. You're handicapping yourself by not sticking to whatever is most OP, and that's what's fun about it, the variety and proving that you did that. But it doesn't have to be about forcing you to play in extra dumb ways with those weapons. One example being mounted kills. Not the worst offender, at least it's something you can consistently work towards, but I think restricting you to using a weapon is good. Artificially restricting your entire playstyle, not so much. I kinda wish it wasn't a challenge just because it isn't helping the general pace of the game. Don't really need to be encouraging that much mounting. But as a challenge, there's nothing that crazy about it. A better example before the Friday update was the kills shortly after reloading. I think among the regular guns, that was perhaps the most annoying one. And yeah, I don't think that really proves any sort of mastery with the gun, but thankfully it is now not a major pain to complete, with the time window after reload being much bigger. It is an odd one though. If they wanted to encourage a badass moment where you get a kill, pop a reload, and get another kill real quick, which I feel like was maybe the idea, it should have just been double kills instead. And thank God they actually did that for the LMGs. All the LMG challenges are the same as ARs and SMGs, except that one. And of course the number requirements are all different between categories, like SMGs needing the most hipfire because they're better at that, but half as many long shots as ARs. LMG requirements are low across the board for some reason, but thankfully they don't need to be rapidly reloaded. There was clearly thought put into this system with every class having its own challenges. I wish I could leave it at that compliment without having a but fine-tuning within the categories would have been good too, especially for melee and launchers, where the weapons you find in there are pretty drastically different from each other. To a lesser extent, snipers and marksmen as well. Double kills for the Kar 98K is much more punishing than for the Dragunov, but I can deal with that. How about melee? Oh man, 25 knife double kills is honestly pretty easy, piece of cake on Shoot House. But that means, of course, there are the 25 riot shield double kills as well, which we all know by now. I did do one of them, obviously in hardcore, and I know a good chunk of crazy people all done with the shield. Of course it's possible, but what a pain in the butt. I'd consider that a luck-based scenario. There's only so much you can do with stun grenades and dead silence and waiting patiently to strike, choosing hardcore headquarters or something to get people grouping up more. You need two people to be together and to not be paying attention. Have fun waiting for that. Or maybe you have different lobbies and a different experience than I do. 50 kills while injured as well, another one that'll fly by for the knife, but a bit of a yikes for the shield. Why would you ever want to be injured? Why does that prove mastery? I got hit, but I survived. I just barely got that kill in time. And yeah, I guess it'll complete itself over time, but melee is a scary category to anyone who doesn't enjoy that playstyle, and obviously some people do. Some people are all about the shield life, not taking that away from you, and I do absolutely think that the shield and knife should be a part of weapon mastery. As I said, it's all about being forced to use weapons you wouldn't otherwise use. I'd even be down if I had to get a ton of riot shield kills, even though I wouldn't really enjoy it, but being forced to stick with them long after the kill challenges are done because of something where you need some luck, like double kills, that's a crappy feeling. To get to the core of it, I think it's that something like a kill challenge, right? You at least feel like you make some progress every game. That's fun to me. I got 5 more kills towards my riot shield this game. Feels good. But when you're hunting something like shield double kills and you can go game after game with that situation you need just not happening, I think that design is less fun. Finally, launcher time. Oh boy, got some stuff here. First up is 40 attacker and defender medals. I'd say those sound awkward to go for, not terrible, much more so the attackers, but maybe it won't be too bad in a mix of Ground War and Shoot House 24/7 whenever that's around. Maybe I'll go more in depth with tips for those at some point because it seems like some people disagree. Then you've got 75 air streaks for the Pila, easy peasy. The Joker kinda sucks because it takes forever, so someone could easily take the destroy from you, but not too bad, it locks on. The Strela is unguided, but the projectile velocity is so high that it's really easy to hit just about everything except UAVs. Then the RPG, well, less easy. I've seen some complaining about it, but gotta be real, I haven't been finding it bad at all. Maybe RPG tips is another thing I can add to the list if people aren't enjoying it. I almost like this challenge. There is some luck involved, but really not that much. It isn't anywhere near taking out paladins with the Maws and Mayhem in Advanced Warfare. This is the type of kinda goofy challenge that I can get on board with. It's a shared experience of challenge hunters. When you see someone with Damascus, you know they shot down 75 things with the RPG. Now, 75 ground streaks, though. This might honestly be the worst camo challenge in the game. Ground streaks are the Shield Turret, Sentry Gun, IAV, Wheelson, and I think a Juggernaut would count? Well, how often do you see those things? Not that much, and it'll be a mad race to go destroy them as soon as they pop up. It wouldn't be that bad if the free tanks in Ground War counted, give people a big reason to want to take those things out, I'm down for that. Then it would still be very hard, but at least you'd have a consistent way to find them. But nope, those don't count as streaks, they're just vehicles. So ground streaks are pretty rare, and then they're also very fragile, meaning any teammate can destroy them very quickly, makes it frustrating to be waiting for ages, and then racing to get them when one shows up, fighting your team for them too. I think no challenge should make you that mad at a teammate for helping take something out. And the javelin is even worse than the others. Most ground streaks are going to be pretty close range, so for any turrets, you're much better off just meleeing it with the Joker in your hand. That does work, just like in pretty much every COD game. Shield turrets, I'd say, are the most common, just because of people using them for challenges and getting them from care packages. You could even throw packages to enemies if you're desperate for progress, that old strat. And the turrets do show up on the map for some dumb reason, which kinda helps you find them, but also doesn't help because if anyone else is closer and also wants it, you're done. Or if anyone's running the EMP plane field upgrade, that's an easy bit of free score at the press of a button. You just click on it, and it's gone. I got a bone to pick with that. Why are the turrets shown on the map like that? They already suck so much. I never bother to place them. You're just gonna get killed. It is such a slow process. They don't even kill faster than a gun. The hit registration for the manual turret feels way off. They barely provide any cover, and they explode into pieces at the slightest gust of wind. Even the big boy sentry gun is so weak. I have never been killed by it or gotten a kill with it. If I could replace my equipment with a shield turret that I could use every life, I wouldn't do it. They are a kill streak, and they're worse than nothing. Even if they didn't broadcast your location on the map to everyone, but they do that too. Why? Had to get that off my chest, I apologize. Buff the turrets so that maybe people actually want to use them. Anyway, 300 total ground streaks between all 4 launchers. Pretty crazy. Basically forcing your secondary to be a launcher all the time and having you always be on high alert for that ground streak to show up. You can't control when that happens. Not a very fun one to hunt for, I'd say. Really doesn't demonstrate your mastery. I would be down if I had to destroy 1,000 streaks with the Pila, get 1,000 kills with the RPG. That would be more fun than something like this. Well, doing it would be fun. On second thought, I'd rather not encourage people to be using the RPG that much. But my point being, again, it is not about the difficulty or the time it takes. Like, if every regular bullet weapon required 300 headshots, I wouldn't even complain about that. I might point out that they're alienating a lot of casual players who would like the top camo to be reasonably achievable within the year. Because COD is on such a yearly cycle, I do think that makes sense. I'd be down for several tiers of Mastery Camo, kind of like when they added Chrome Tiger to World War II, where Chrome only took 7 days of playtime, and that's for me at my casual pace, and that represented a more standard mastery. Later, they added a higher level you could reach to show off. So sure, add a higher tier that requires getting 2,000 kills with every weapon. Let people showcase how far they're willing to go. I don't want it to be easy, I just want it to be fun. Which is, of course, subjective. I know you may not agree with me on all this, but, you know, I don't feel like I've mastered the launchers by desperately competing with my team to take out a ground streak in the rare case that one pops up. Really hoping to see adjustment there, but I do want to add, when I give feedback about challenges like this, that doesn't mean I'm going to complain about them and then walk away. I'll still do my best to come up with creative strategies to complete them. I can hope for an adjustment, but that doesn't mean I've completely given up. I'll still be trying to find any possible strategies and workarounds. Alright, I think those are the challenges that pop out to me as the most concerning. While we're here talking about camo opinions, I realized in the video discussing the Damascus grind, I never mentioned the actual appearance of the camo. I saw that mattered to a lot of people, and it does to me as well, it's just a smaller factor. But yeah, gold does look way better, and I kinda predicted that a few times leading up to launch, not like it was a difficult prediction. I always think the gold looks amazing as a Mastery Camo, and it looks even better in this game, maybe my favorite ever. With the lines, the clean black and gold, then Platinum is super boring, and Damascus really doesn't pop either. I'm kinda glad they didn't go with a diamond, personally. I'm sure I'm more alone there. Got a lot of diamond fans, but I really do wish gold was at the top. It's such a classic too, going back to gold showing up in early Modern Warfare games. The thing is, I'd be in love with these 3 camos if they just shuffled them down by 1. They're not going to now, because I'm sure people would be upset about losing their gold camos, but if they had it be Platinum for one gun, Damascus for the category, and gold for total mastery, I would have loved it. While that would be cool, not a huge deal to me, as I said. For me, the Mastery Camo is always about the journey and the prestige of having it. It's about demonstrating weapon mastery, and it's just something to do. So it's a bonus on top if it looks good, but never a major factor in deciding if I want to go for it. It just has to be fun to work towards it. So to wrap things up, maybe a summary of what I'd change if I were king. Scrap the 75 ground streaks, either just make it like 15 each, or pick something else. Why are there no launcher double kills? That would still take some luck, mostly for the Joker, but I've had plenty of them in Ground War. I'd much rather do that. I was really expecting skulls to be double kills, cause I'm glad they didn't just paste in 3 kill streaks, but weird that they just went with destroy 50 more kill streaks? Basically a non-challenge, a repeat. In a perfect world, there would be challenge adjustments based on the weapon within the category, so you could have 200 Pila airstreak destroys, but fewer for others. I'm fine with not having that much detail though, so long as the challenges just make sense for everything. And I know for everything I mention here, there are some people already done with it all, but I've been the guy on the other side of that too, doing a challenge before it got made easier. I get the feeling, but if it's for the best, I'm always in support of it. Like Riot Shield double kills, I'd say reduce those, or if we're talking replace, could always pick some medal like a Revenge, a Kingslayer, whatever. They already did a challenge for 10 buzz kills, or deflecting damage with the shield. There's no challenge like that, since the challenges were probably designed for the knife. It's nice that the shortly after reload challenge isn't a major pain now. I mean, I probably would have replaced that with double kills across the board and just balanced it so that the other categories require fewer of them than LMGs. Makes sense to me. And lastly, maybe cut down on the number of mounted kills. It's not even that bad of a challenge, but the game does not need to be incentivizing more people to be mounting instead of moving. Now, because pretty much all of those changes would make things easier, I'd love to see an extra layer to the weapon grind, kinda like Chrome Tiger as I brought up before, because Damascus is admittedly pretty bland. It'd be cool to see a higher tier. Gold looks so damn good in comparison, man, it just ain't right. Add in that hyper gold above Damascus. Okay, I'm sure I'll be making more guide type stuff for camos whenever I feel I have something actually helpful to share. Until then, hope you enjoyed this introductory overview ramble of the camo challenges of Modern Warfare, and you can let me know what you think, because this was all quite opinionated. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.